Hello, everybody. I'm Brian LeBel. Usually, you're going to see my dad, Harper LeBel, in this slot. You're going to see Vincent Turner. Neither one of them were able to join us tonight, but it's going to be me. It's going to be Joey Clinkscales Dale right underneath me, and then it's going to be Mr. Dodge right above him. Fellas, how you guys doing tonight?
Doing
Absolutely.
fantastic. Great.
All right, a little late start. We had some technical difficulties, but we're here now. We're going to do our Week 5 NFL preview show. We're going to go over the top 4 games that we think at least are the top 4 going into Week 5, which I guess, fellas, we're going to start separating the men from the boys here a little bit. We can get right into it. I'll start with you, Joey. We're going to talk Bucks and Seahawks here. Let me go ahead and get your thoughts on Tampa Bay through the first couple weeks and coming into this game.
You know, Tampa Bay is a team that is beginning to come around. We see what type of defensive team they are, and they're really solid. They, Todd Bowles has done an excellent job of putting his imprint on this year's team. And, of course, on offense, they have a two-headed monster running back. And guess what? That quarterback they have, Baker Mayfield, he plays with that chip on his shoulder. He shows his leadership, and his teammates follow him. So, Tampa Bay is a really good team, and really, they could easily be undefeated at this point in the year.
Yeah, they were in a dogfight last couple weeks, right? Everything's one-possession games, but they're playing tough. Unfortunately, they fell just short last week. Mr. Dodge, your thoughts, anything to add on Joey? What do you think about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers so far and coming into this game?
Well, I like Baker Mayfield, and I like his energy. I just look at the Bucks. One thing I worry about is that they're missing Mike Evans still. I think he's still out. We know that's one of their top receivers. We're looking at them 15th in offense. One thing they do that, like he said, Joey said, man, their defense is real nice, man. They're fourth in defense. We know defense win championships. They're missing the DB. I looked at the injury report. They're missing a little DB, the little safety named Chris Ism. He's out. But I think they have enough firepower to be able to come back. They got now. They said little Bucky Irvin, man, he might be a little nicked up. That's their leading rusher. One thing about the league now, man, like I think I looked at it was only like 2 rushes that really was averaging over 100 yards a game. I think Bucky's averaging like 60 yards a game, but that's still important. Abuke is taking up the receiver slot, got 18 receptions as far as on the year. But I still think they're solid, and I think they're really solid because they got a quarterback that can play and that's confident and is experienced and mature, and they also got a defense up on the Todd Bowles that's ranked pretty high.
Now, let me say this. The latest news on Bucky Irving, they're kind of keeping everything in-house right now, is potentially a second opinion on a foot to ankle injury. Is a second opinion for you guys, I'll start with you, Joey, is that ever good? Is there ever a good time to get a second opinion on an injury?
Anytime they're talking second opinion, that means it usually means that surgery is going to be involved. Now, I'm not saying that's the case this time. However, a second opinion means that maybe you didn't like what the team doctors had to say, and you went to an outside doctor to get another opinion. So that usually means an extended, at a minimum, an extended period of time that he could be out. Now, White, who was the starter at the beginning of last year, who's still on the team, is a really good back. He does a lot of good things. So they were playing with a two-headed monster anyway. So I think they'll be okay in the short term. So we'll just have to see how bad Bucky Irvin is hurt.
Mr. Dodge, to you, do you think it's a big deal? I mean, they got some depth, right? A lot of injuries, though, early on. Bucky's banged up. They got Tristan Wirfs back this week, but Mike Evans, like you guys mentioned, he's not healthy and suited up right now. Chris Godwin just came back from a dislocated ankle. Second opinion's ever good?
Second opinion's never good.
Yeah.
You always want the first opinion, oh, he can play. You want to see something like questionable, like, I know they got questionable on the injury report, but, kind of like second opinion might be doubtful. They play games in the league, though. They don't really they be wanting to, like, hide their hand. They play poker.
Yeah.
They can be put smoke screen out there saying, like, for a team that can prepare for somebody else. But unless they put doubtful on there, usually when a cat is doubtful, he's not going to play it or out. But anyway, when they say second opinion, that gets people thinking, like, yeah, he might not play. But we're going to always prepare like Bucky going to play. If I'm the Seahawks, I'm going to prepare like he is going to play.
Speaking of the Seahawks, do we need a second opinion on them, where they're at right now in the division, how well they're playing? 3-1. They're right up there, tied with everybody else, looking pretty good, coming off of a big division win against the Cardinals. Joey, I'll start with you again. What are we thinking about the Seattle Seahawks?
Again, I'll start with defense. Defensively, they've been a little bit of a surprise. I wasn't sure how well they were going to play defensively, but you know what? They've played really consistent. They have two big corners that play well, and obviously they have the big man inside from who went to USC and was a first-round draft pick by the Jets, and he's playing really well for them. Offensively, the quarterback is Sam Darnold has kind of steadied the ship there at quarterback. He plays really well when he has a clean pocket and he can do some things on the edge with the short rolls. But the offensive line has played really well for Seattle. So Seattle, I think, will play a really good game. And the game is in Seattle this week, so that will narrow the point spread. But I think if I'm a betting man, I'm probably betting on Tampa. But Seattle's a good team. Plus, Seattle can run the ball.
Mr. Dodge, your thoughts on the Seattle Seahawks?
I might have to disagree with little Joy on that one thing as far as the home field advantage. That's probably the only thing I disagree with on. I think that might give them the edge over the Bucs, knowing that the Bucs are a little bit more nicked up than the Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold has been playing above what people that thought he might play when he got there. Both teams 3-1. Okay, so it's like a flip a coin that there. And I just think I give the edge to Seattle because they're playing at home. I looked on the injury report. They got safety that's nicked up, little Nick. But Donald's the Seahawks 17th in offense. Okay, that's middle of the pack. 13th on defense. So they solid. They solid on that. Donald 13th in pass. The wide receiver Walker's 18th. The little Jackson is like a second in the league. 26 receptions. I just think the home field advantage. I like both quarterbacks now, Mayfield and I like Darnold. I just think the edge might go to Seattle because they're playing at home. We're talking about the 12th man as far as on that standpoint.
Now, I will say this. Coming into this game, you guys both said that you like both quarterbacks. If you would have said 2 years ago, hey, coming into a primetime game, 2 3-1 teams who are at the forefront of their divisions led by Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, do you think anybody believe you?
Not at all. Not at all, especially the way their career started. But the one thing we found out in the NFL in the last couple of years that your first team is probably not your last team, especially if you have some talent at the quarterback position. You'll get plenty chances to succeed, and it becomes about fit. And I think both of these guys have landed in the situation. I think Darnold was in that situation last year as well in Minnesota. But I think this is a good fit for him in Seattle. And obviously, Baker, his charisma, his leadership ability has won the team over in Tampa.
I will say this. Oh, go ahead, Mr. Dodge. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying it. They sure have gotten their confidence back. You just see a difference in Sam Darnold, even last year with the Vikings and now here with the Seahawks. And we can see the transformation from Baker from where he came from to now with the Bucs. And it's all about your teammates and the organization and how much they believe in you and what they surround you with. And I just think both these quarterbacks, just like Joey said, was put in situations that really fit their skill set.
Couple of top-tier Ohio State wide receivers highlighting this game as well, especially Mike Evans being banged up for the Bucs. So Ibuka steps in, Jackson Smith and Jigba, they shipped DK Metcalf out of town, right? They said, hey, listen, we like this young kid. We think he can be the main focus on our offense, and it's worked out so far. Mr. Dodge, it sounds like you got the Seahawks in this game, correct?
Yes, I have the Seahawks this game, and it's not. I'm not being biased because I played there, but I have the Seahawks. The only reason I have the Seahawks, so look, finished growing up in Florida, so I'm a Buck fan, but Seahawks just because they playing home. I just think it's a difference sometimes when teams be able to play at home and players get to sleep in their own bed, and just the confidence of them just playing there. Like I said, they both got both quarterbacks, evenly matched teams, both 3-1. That's a long flight now, and Joey can attest to that. Going from Tampa, sometimes they leave a day early. I remember we used to go from the West Coast to the East Coast. We used to probably sometimes travel like on a Friday just to be able to get there. I just think the comfort level of the Seahawks just being home, the confidence, just coming off a win. I think they just have. I'm just saying it's a slight edge. I'm not saying it's big like they're gonna blow them out. It's just a slight edge.
Joe, you agree with that, or are you going Tampa Bay here?
I'm gonna go with Tampa. I just think Tampa overall is the better team. I do agree with the home field advantage to Seattle, and that crowd is going to be loud. It's going to be something you have to deal with. But I just like, I really like what Tampa Bay's doing. I like what Coach Bowles is doing with this team. I like what Baker's doing. I like the fact that they had been able to run the ball with efficiency with two guys. And I know Mike Evans out, but Ibuke has played really, really well. I mean, in my opinion, he's probably at this point the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year, especially Offensive Rookie of the Year.
All right, well, that's game number one. Moving on to game number two, we have another couple of really good NFC West teams, right? Continuing on the trend, the 3-1 LA Rams versus the 3-1 San Francisco 49ers. Joey, you went first last time, so Mr. Dodge, I'll let you start. What do you like about the LA Rams or don't like, or what do you think about them coming into this Week 5 matchup with San Francisco?
I like a lot about the Rams, and I think everything with a lot of teams always start with the quarterback. So we got Matthew Stafford there. You look at the Rams, they're fourth in offense, and they're ninth in defense. 3-1, real solid. Stafford, of course, he's second in the league in passing, as I look at it. As far as that, you got Kyron Rims, a running back. He's seventh in the league, 75 yards a game. The receiver, how you say his name? What is it? How you say his name?
Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
Hey, number one in the league in receptions.
Hey, they got another guy there, Devontae Adams, who's not too bad either.
Yes. So like a real solid team. Of course, everything goes around Matthew Stafford, a veteran quarterback, has been in the league a long time and been doing good things. And I think they also got a good defense to go along with them. Like I said, they're ninth in the league as far as that.
Joey, I'll go to you here, but the Rams, I mean, does it even look like Aaron Donald retired 2 years ago? You know, this was the game wrecker they had, and he leaves, and this kid from Florida State, Mr. Dodge, Jared Verse, has been fantastic, stepped in that role almost seamlessly, and this team is still, they lose pieces, they lose injuries, they replace guys, they lose Cooper Kupp, doesn't seem to matter.
Yeah, they have a really aggressive defense led by second-year player Jared Verse, and they also have another kid from Florida State who plays nose tackle, who's really a tough guy inside. The thing the Rams can really do right now is they can get after the passer, and they play hard. They play with energy. And again, the demise of Matthew Stafford has been overrated. You know, coming into the season with the back, you know, he's old. He got a back injury. You don't know if he's going to make it through the year. All he's done basically is led the league in passing. So, and Kyron Williams running the ball. And again, you have Puka Nacua, and you have the kid from Devontae Adams. So, you know what? They have a real opportunity. And again, I said this earlier. I believe that they're going to win that division. They're going to beat San Francisco. They're going to beat Seattle. They're going to beat the Cardinals. I think they're going to win that division.
Mr. Dodge, we'll go to San Francisco here. Brock Purdy, starting quarterback, missed a couple games. Didn't seem to matter. They won both of those. They lose a close one last week to the surprising Jacksonville Jaguars. But anything they can do, I mean, Purdy's banged up again. I think the Rams are the favorite coming in here. A lot of people like them. Anything the Niners can do to kind of derail what LA's doing and maybe halt the division championship parade?
I think it's going to be a challenge because I think the game is is with the Rams. It's not in the Bay Area, not in Santa Clara. It's down there in LA. I'm always going to go with the quarterback. And the Rams just have the more experienced quarterback. Even though the Niners, I just think that Shanahan, I almost called him Mike. I just think that Shanahan is doing a good job. They're fifth in offense, sixth in defense, so they're still solid. You know what I mean? So there's like next man up type mentality. Passing, not as strong as that been in the past. You know what I'm saying? So like even with Purdy and even with the new guy that they got in right now, they're 28th and 29th in the league in passing. That's not really solid, but they know they still got McCaffrey, and he's a switch army knife. You know what I'm saying? So he's as far as leading in receptions, he's the leading rusher. I think he also like second in receptions for him. So anytime you got like McCaffrey, I think, you know what I'm saying, it gives them a chance. But they down in LA, I just think the Rams are just more solidified right now, like injury-free and everything. And the quarterback situation, I think, is just a better situation than what the 49ers is.
Joey, is there ever going to be a point where this San Francisco team under Kyle Shanahan is healthy? Purdy's banged up, Kittle's out, Ayuk's rehab apparently took a derailment. Ricky Pearsall's banged up as well. I mean, they still find ways to win games, though, right? Can you give me some good news for San Francisco? Maybe some silver linings for this week?
Well, they're 3-1. I think that's the best news they could be right now, 3-1, because I think besides the injuries, they're an older team, relatively speaking, and there's a good chance that Purdy won't play this week. Be quite honest with you, he could, but he'll be banged up if not. The kid they really liked when they took
Mac Jones,
right? When they took Trey Lance, they really liked him, and so he'll have an opportunity to win another game. I mean, he's won 2 games for him. He could very well win 3 coming into this season. But, I'm fearful with the heavy load that McCaffrey has to take on right now that they could injure him again. I think they lost their best pass rusher, if I'm not mistaken. So they have issues all over the place.
Yes.
They're trying to put this thing together with super glue. So it'll be interesting. It really will be interesting. I just think the Rams have too much stability, too much, they're fast paced right now. I think they have too much going in their favor.
All right, Mr. Dodge, I'll start with you then. We'll pick a winner. You got the Rams, you got the Niners.
I got the Rams. Even though I played for the Niners, love the Niners. It's funny, man, all the teams you got out to play for. But I got the Rams in this one right here.
Joey, we thinking the same thing? We thinking Rams?
I'm going to take the Rams as well.
Well, San Francisco 49ers fans, outlook is not good, but you could always, it might come out on Thursday night, which is when this game is, and prove them wrong. Next game on the docket, the Commanders, who are looking to have Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, and the whole, minus Austin Eckler, the whole crew healthy and ready to roll against the LA Chargers, who looked unstoppable until Jackson Dart and Cam Scatabo, of all people, kind of put them back down to earth a little bit. Joey, I'll start with you here. We'll start with Washington. Thoughts on the Commanders coming into this game and through the first 4, possibly?
Well, I think the Commanders really need this game more than the Chargers needed, if I have to be honest with you. Jaden Daniels back. If he's playing, that'll be a great thing for Washington. Terry McLaurin, Daniels and McLaurin hadn't really been on the same page a whole lot this season. So maybe this could be somewhat of a get-right game for them. Although the Chargers play really good defense. The Chargers are really tough. Physical. Harbaugh's team's always tough and physical. They're missing their left tackle, the Chargers are. So offensively, they may struggle a little bit. Washington has the Giants had a really good defensive line, and they put a lot of pressure on Justin Herbert. He was running for his life a lot of the game. However, they could run the ball. The rookie running back there had a big game versus the Giants, and I expect him to have a big game this week versus the Commanders.
Yeah, Omarion Hampton did look very good, especially with Najee Harris going down last week. So he was the workhorse, right? He's the go-to guy now. Time to earn his keep, getting his chance early on. Mr. Dodge, you think of the same thing? We like Washington. We're not 100% certain Jaden Daniels is going to be back. We think he is, but what's the thought process for the Commanders, in your opinion?
Even if he was back, they still was like both of them, Mariota and Daniels, in the 30s when it's talking about passing yards in the league as far as the deal. I'm not impressed with their running game. Their running back, ranked, I think it's Merritt, last name Merritt, 30th in the league, 40 yards a game. The top receiver is Debo. He got 23 receptions, but he only averaging 9 yards per catch. And then our boy Terry McLaurin, he's like 10. He got 10 receptions, only 15. He averaging 15 yards, but 10 receptions. They're really low. They're like ranked 12th in offense. Defensively, they're struggling a little bit. I just think what they say, the spoon, whatever that stirs the drink, is the quarterback. And if he's not able to be there, Dan's not able to be there. I just think that makes it tough for the Commanders to be the team that they were last year. Come on, because this is a new year, and so I know they're looking at trying to the spin off from last year. Had a couple of injuries, couple of holdouts that hurts chemistry in the whole nine. Then you get a little injury, get banged up a little bit. No, still early in the season. I don't know if Daniels is really 100% healthy yet. You know what I mean? To do the things that we know that he can do, especially playing against a team that is solid as the Chargers is right now.
Yeah, it's funny. They were a game away from the Super Bowl, right? I know Philadelphia kind of blew them out, but they were right there. Not having your quarterback, not having your receiver, not being on the same page, a lot of stuff. Injuries can't be helped. But Joey, let's move on to the Chargers. What are we thinking here? They're 3-1, right? We thought the Chiefs were dead in the water until last week. They had a blowout win against the Ravens. They're kind of back in the swing of things. Are you still as confident as you were? I know the Joe Alt injury is a big deal, but what are we thinking about LA?
Well, they had two injuries. They had Alt and they had another offensive lineman to get banged up. But that being said, I think this could be a get-right game for the Chargers. They're home. That always helps. Defensively, they're still really good. I mean, they got that stud named Derwin James back there in the secondary. They have good linebacker play. I can't think of the kid's name, but I know he wears number 0 for them. And they play really good defense for the most part. So I think the Chargers have an opportunity here to be ground and pound. They can run the ball, play physical versus Washington. Herbert can get out on the perimeter and throw to those receivers that he have. They can get the kid from Georgia in the game more. I like a lot of things the Chargers do, but first and foremost, they start with their toughness. Their toughness comes from their head coach. So in this game, I like the Chargers. Although I think Washington, the Commanders really need this game, and hopefully they'll come in at full strength minus the running back who's out for the year. But if I were betting, I would take the Chargers in this game.
Okay. Mr. Dodge, back to you. Thoughts on the not San Diego, LA Chargers in this one?
I played for them too. Man, it is crazy, yo. Back when we was in San Diego, you look at statistics, probably one of the most solid teams that we're talking about tonight. 8th in offense, 3rd in defense, playing real good defense. Herbert, 4th in the league in passing. They got a receiver in Johnson. He's 3rd in receiving in the league, 22 receptions. Running back, 12th in rushing, 67 yards a game. I'll just go back up to the stats as far as 8th in offense, 3rd in defense. And I keep going back to quarterbacks because we know that's what really drives the league anywhere. I'm talking about college, even high school, and they got their guy in Herbert that's playing real well right now. I just think they're still solid. No major injuries as far as on the hand that will stop them from doing what they're doing. And they're playing home again. Here it is once again. We have a team that's playing home. So we're playing against the Commanders team that's not really 100%, still trying to figure out their identity, still trying to figure out Devo and the chemistry as far as all they have to do over there. Who's going to be quarterback, who's not going to be quarterback. Even if he is quarterback, will he be 100%? You know what I'm saying? Probably have to scale back the offensive play calling when we're talking about the Commanders. Chargers don't have that. You know, Jim Harbaugh going to run the ball and play defense. He's done that everywhere he's been, even when he was at San Fran, even at Stanford. That's what he do. We're going to run the ball and play defense, and the Chargers this year are doing exactly that.
Well, it's worked at every level, and it continues to work. Now, both these teams are coming off losses. Both these teams are fighting to keep their quarterbacks upright and healthy. Joey, can you give me a winner?
I'm taking the Chargers at home.
Mr. Dodge, same thing to you. Same question.
Taking the Chargers at home, I think they're the more complete team. More complete team right now. Quarterback is a better quarterback for us right now. That's healthy. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing who's going to play on the other side. I just think they have more firepower right now, offensively and defensively. And they're playing home, as Joy said.
There you go. And our last game that we're going to cover is the Broncos-Eagles. Now, we'll start with the Broncos who are coming off of I don't even know if I want to call it a blowout loss. Is there anything above blowout for what they did to Cincinnati yesterday? I mean, it was, other than the first drive, Cincinnati didn't do much of anything all night. Nobody named Chase or Higgins or Brown or anybody could really do anything against this defense. Mr. Dodge, I'll start with you. The Denver Broncos coming into this game looking a little bit better at 2-2 than they were 1-2 last week. Thoughts on them?
Joey, I played for them too. Man, when I looked at this lineup, I was like, I played for 4 teams.
Hey, you're killing me, Smalls.
4 teams in the NFL. And it's all 4 that we're talking about. I like, look, before a couple of years ago, I was kind of down on the Broncos, you know what I'm saying, when they was transitioning from the quarterbacks and all. I don't know. We think about Bo Nix, know he was talented and everything, but sometimes when coaches come in, they have to get all their pieces and things that fit them in the whole nine. I think he's got that. The Broncos, I consider the blowout. Now, we understand Cincinnati, they had a quarterback, and I mean he is that dude in Joe Burrow. And we've been talking about quarterbacks all night right now and how important they are to every team that they play for. So they suffered on that. But Bo Nix and the Broncos, ninth in offense, 10th in defense, solid. Solid. You know what I'm saying? Nick 16th in the league, got Dobbins. They running the ball. He's fourth in the league. He got 80 yards. He got 80 yards. Got Sutton 18 reception, 15 yards a game, 15 yards a catch. They're playing real solid right now. And once again, Joe, where they playing at? They playing home in Mile High. They put that sign up there. I don't know how high it is. I forgot how high it is. You can't breathe and all like
5280.
They got it on the helmets now. It's on the front of the helmets now. You'll never forget.
I've been there enough. It's 5280.
They're trying to remind you can't breathe here after the first quarter. I just think they're a real solid team. Then the head coach doing a really good job with them. He finally got it going the way he wanted. Got the quarterback that he really wanted. Running the ball, play action off the run. Bo Nix, athletic. Been doing good. Accurate, confidence, boy. When them young quarterbacks get confidence, man, they surely play different. And I can see a lot of difference in Bo Nix right now.
Joey, this is a team a couple years ago that with the whole Russell Wilson issue, they said, listen, we'll give you all your money. We just don't want you here anymore, right? They bring in Bo Nix, who a lot of people didn't even have him in the top 4 quarterbacks on their draft board. He comes in as immediately a game changer. This team's competing. They had no cap space. They had no picks. They had nothing. And Sean Payton turns it around. They're a playoff team. This year, 2-2, looking the same way. What are we thinking?
As they say in boxing, styles make fights. And with Bo Nix going to the Broncos, Peyton knew exactly what he wanted in his quarterback, and he got a guy that he thought could fit the system he was in, and it's turned out great to this point in Bo's career. That being said, the Broncos are 2-2, and they're really about 3 plays from being 4-0. They have played really well this year for the most part. They can run the ball. Nix is a threat not only with his arm but with his feet. They have 2 receivers that really catch the ball nicely. And defensively, they have 2 pass rushers that can really get after you. Young guy Benito and another kid, I can't think of his name at the top of my head right now, that really get after you. And guess what? They have a kid who might be the best cornerback in the league, who was the defensive player of the year. So they have players at every level. They're a tough physical team. And again, Philly's coming in, and that altitude will play a factor. Guys will come in and they'll have headaches and they'll need to stay hydrated. So when you go into Denver, you have all those things to worry about. Not saying that the Eagles will win the game, but all these things will be a factor.
Pretty solid home field advantage, getting to play at higher altitude than anybody else, right? Kind of nice.
Used to it. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Isn't that right, Mr. Dodge?
Yes, sir. That is right. That is right. We used it.
Now, we'll shift our focus here to you, Mr. Dodge, and to the Philadelphia Eagles. Coming off of the season and the success, obviously, they had last year. Still no losses on the docket this year. They're 4-0. Is this sort of a trap game for them, maybe? I mean, we talked about home field advantage for the Broncos. I mean, they're not going to go 17-0, right? At some point, they have to lose, but they look pretty good so far.
Let me say this here. We all know that it's tough to go back-to-back in Super Bowls and to win Super Bowls on that standpoint. This Eagle team was really dominating last year. You look at this Eagles team, they're winning, I guess, off the maturity, to me, off the team, just tradition, everything from last year. This team is 30 in offense. You hear me? There's only 32 teams in the league. 30th in offense, 22 in defense, 22 that barely beat the Bucks. Was last week, right? Was Saquon, right? Wasn't he almost hit 2,000 last year? Saquon 20th in rushing in the league, averaging 60 yards a game. Passing, Hurts is 27th in the league in passing. I'm just spitting numbers out to you. Devontae is the leading receiver. A.J. Brown second. Devontae has 17 catches. Brown has 14 catches. I don't know. They're not as dominant as last year. So I'm like, can they keep winning these squeak out games throughout? When it get close, I'm talking about. I don't know. I just know this ain't the same. They're not playing like the same Eagles team, even though their record is good. They're not playing the same way, and the stats don't show that they're playing the same as they did last year. Don't think the Broncos don't see that. Don't think the Broncos don't see that they wounded. Sometimes when you win a championship, you don't play with the same energy as you did the year before. You know what I mean? Like Saquon came in, he had something to prove, and AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts got to shut people up and all that like that. But once you win it, kind of like exhale a little bit, like. But it only take that little bit, for other teams to come up there and catch you. That's why it's so hard to win back-to-back Super Bowls. You know what I mean? And I look at the Eagles right now, they're all right. You know what I'm talking about? Their record show they're all right, but their stats say something else to me. And I think the Broncos, and their defense and offensive staff, special team staff is seeing that and seeing like, all right, this team ain't the same team. You know what I'm talking about? We have a chance to get them, and we playing home. Not the same Eagles team as off in the past. So, I got questions about the Eagles. Just what I'm saying. Same players. It's just that they're not putting up the same numbers to me. But the most important number, I will say, is the wins, and that's what they're getting.
Well, Joey, they got 4 of them. I don't know if it's maybe a little Super Bowl hangover. I don't know if it's just maybe some complacency. I know, listen, when you're the champs, everyone's going to give you their best game, right? They got that game circled on the calendar. Mr. Dodge said the offense is bad, the defense is bad, special teams has been decent, and I'll tell you the offense is bad because I got Saquon Barkley and Devontae Smith on my fantasy football team, which isn't going over too well for me right now. But Philadelphia Eagles, your thoughts on them right now through the first 4 games?
Well, I have a slightly different take on it. I mean, I think the Eagles have a heart of a champion. I mean, that's just like, and I'll go back a little bit to the close game theory as the Chiefs last year. The Chiefs last year, after coming back from the Super Bowl, playing the 2024 season, I think they had 11 one-score games that they won. It was either 9 or 11 one-score games that they won. So, sometimes you have those hangovers. That being said, I think the numbers can be a little bit deceiving. Jalen Hurts has not played bad, with the exception of he hasn't put a complete game together. 2 games ago, he played great in the second half of the game, and they come back and win. This week, he was like 14 for 16 in the first half, and then he was 0 for 8 in the second half. He just has not put a complete game together for whatever reason. Saquon, obviously, people are going to stack the box. They're going to try to make Jalen throw the ball, so Saquon is not being as productive as he was last year, although Jalen is as productive, if not more, with his feet this year. So, it depends on how you're looking at the game. But the thing about the Eagles that have really come to the forefront is they're a true team. They have blocked 3 kicks in the last 2 weeks. So their special teams play has been outstanding. So offense, defense, and special team has all been outstanding. The defense, obviously Jalen was, he spit on the kid, so he missed the whole game. Then, you have cornerback issues, you have safety issues. But guess what? Right now, it's easier to correct those mistakes when you're 4-0 rather than 2-2. And if we're being honest about the Eagles, they could easily be 2-2 rather than 4-0. But guess what? They have the heart of a champion, and right now they're still 4-0. And I wouldn't bet against them in Denver this week. Although, guess what? It would be the toughest challenge to go to Denver and win. But I wouldn't bet against the Eagles.
Joey, the fans were booing them at halftime against the Rams not 8 days ago.
They booed Santa Claus.
They were booing them. They said, throw the ball. They said, we're down 3 scores. Throw the ball.
They'll probably boo the Pope if he comes to Philly. I mean, they're used to it. But guess what? They're knowledgeable. They know that they can get more out of this team. But this team has really taken the personality of Sirianni. I mean, since the 5 years that 4 or 5 years that Sirianni's been the head coach, he's the winningest coach in football. So but he's got that crass toughness about him, and I think the team's taken his personality.
We don't really talk about him a lot either, as far as one of the top tier coaches. We talk about the McVays, we talk about the Andy Reids, the Kyle Shanahans. He's been nothing but successful since he took over this team. This team just continues to churn out wins week in and week out. Mr. Dodge, who's going to be booing on Sunday evening after this one's over? Is it be Broncos fans or Eagles fans?
Well, it's almost like a coin flip to me because I know the Eagles know that, like Joey said, 2 of them games they could have easily lost. Jordan Davis blocked a kick, running back. That was a game-winning field goal. The Bucks had them on the ropes down there in Tampa. Did they play in Tampa that week when the Bucks?
Yes, they played Tampa last week.
Yeah, they played
Temperature
Tampa.
on the field was 103 degrees is what it felt like.
103 degrees at kickoff.
It's hard to play there. I'm a Northeast guy. It's almost like I want to get an edge to the Broncos. I'm just thinking the Eagles know they haven't played their best ball.
Yeah.
I just know they know we haven't played our best ball. We haven't got Saquon off yet. You know what I'm saying? We haven't really threw the ball the way I got. And I know that's coming. Because it's the same team. It's the same team. I'm not trying to pick Broncos, man, because I play, but I think I'm going to have to go with the Eagles slightly over the Broncos. Maybe this is the game that they put everything together. Like you heard Joey say, like, Jalen hasn't played like a complete game yet. And we know he's better than that. And we know that he's going to put together a complete game. And maybe this is the game that they put a complete game. Denver going to give the best shot playing in Denver. Hype, boom, home game in the whole 9. But, we're dealing with the Super Bowl champions in the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think that there might push them over just a little bit.
Well, Joey, this Eagles defense has been so far through 4 opponents the only team to keep Baker Mayfield either out of the end zone or keep the ball from going through the uprights to win the game last week. They were able to do that against Tampa and stifle him. Is that going to happen this week? They going to win this game, or you got Denver?
I have the Eagles. Hey, until somebody can beat the champ, you're the champ. And nobody's beat them yet. They found a way to win through all 3 phases of the game. And you know what? They practice with the running quarterback every day. So I think they'll be able to contain Bo Nix as much as anybody can because, they see some of those same attributes in Jalen Hurts every day. So I would pick the Eagles here. I do think it'll be a tough game, but if the Eagles put everything together, which they haven't done thus far through the season, I think they have a chance to win this game. So I'm going to take the Eagles.
Well, that's been 8 teams, 4 games. We gave you the rundown of all of them, and we picked each one of them as well. This has been our NFL Week 5 preview show for 100 Yards of Football. For myself, Mr. Dodge, and Mr. Joey as well. We thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you watching, and probably a little bit earlier, but same day next week, and we'll see you guys then.